I'm not doing any butter math, so we are marked safe from me doing double butter or times 6 butter. Well, hello, good friends. The sun is beating down on us, but that's okay because the John Henry General Store has deals. I've seen on their Facebook page, they've got the canning tomato cases, they got Romas, they've got the 40-pound boxes of bananas for $10. Something about it, or case flats of organic strawberries, $8. I don't know what's going on over there, but we're gonna go over there and go shopping first and stock up on produce deals. I've got big plans. I also have a list of breakfast meals that we are going to meal prep once we get back home and also work through all that produce. So we will get going and see what kind of deals we can find. Okay, we're here. Let's see what good deals they have. Okay, they've got Silver Queen corn, 50 for $15. That's pretty nice. We've got all kinds of cantaloupe. I have 3 cantaloupe at home judging me. These are 99 cents. I better stick with my cantaloupe I have. We got a whole shopping cart full of red seedless watermelon. I also have 2 watermelons judging. We're not here for melons, right? But look at these apples. These are called Ginger Gold. I just looking at this beautiful box, I want that box. We got a whole box of spaghetti squash. Okay, pepper case, $14.99. Kinds of other peppers. It must be the spaghetti squash time of year. 'Tis the season. I do need some more spaghetti squash. We've got eggplants, onions, $1.99 a pound, and avocados. Oh, lemons. I needed lemons for those low-carb cheesecakes I was making yesterday. Radishes, gourds, and then all kinds of beautiful peaches. These were the banana box deals. You get 2 for $10. They look super ripe. And so these would be to take home, peel down, and freeze. But I already have a whole what's it even called? Whole shelf in my freezer that my folks are working down with gallon frozen banana bags. So I probably won't get these today. And then we've got a whole bushel of peaches for $24.99. This is what I was coming for, the tomato deals. And then my whole happiness in life, I'm getting this half a bushel for $9.99 of the yellow squash. They said earlier you could mix and match. I think they had some zucchini. If they don't have any zucchini left, I'll just probably get this. Okay, so they sold out of the Romas this morning. These are the second boxes. It says like tomato spot boxes. They're $4.99, so that means they are not perfect, but that's kind of like life. And I'll probably just we'll wash off some of those. We can just cut the bad spots off of. So there's 10 boxes. They're 25-pound boxes, so that would be roughly 250 pounds of tomatoes, which is my idea of a good time. It was 1/2 bushel box of squash for $9.99 or 2 boxes for $10. So we got a 1/2 bushel of zucchini basically for free. And then we got this whole 250 pounds of tomatoes for adventures. Okay, we got a cart. We're doing it, and I'm moving slowly. I'm sure it's like Costco, I should be pulling it, but we also work on saving my neck. Here's our tomato haul. Just some more. Deciding if I need to borrow a tomato lid or not. But I might need to. Some of these are pretty wet, but you get what you pay for. I think we can save a bunch. Alrighty, now I can pull it behind proper. So they did not still have those Roma canning tomato boxes. I saw them on Facebook this morning, and when I see them post this, okay, so for tomorrow's to-do list, we gotta jump on it. 50-pound boxes of Roma tomatoes, $29.99. Now I got 25-pound boxes of seconds for $4.99. We are not complaining. Out of the 250 pounds, I mean, I don't know if I got 150 to 200 pounds for canning. I mean, we'll be doing pretty good. But I'm gonna keep an eye on their Facebook page, and if tomorrow they have those Romas or anything close to them, I'm gonna have to run down here quickly and fill in the gaps with those. Not that 150 pounds or 200 pounds isn't enough. But, well, you know, in 2023, when I processed 380 pounds, I ended up with 57 quarts of homemade processed tomato sauce. So we need hundreds of pounds of tomatoes for this upcoming project. Let's get home, see what we got, and big batch meal prep a bunch of breakfast for my family of 10 or 110 for the week. Okay, we are back from John Henry, and we got our project and stuff. I cannot wait to process these tomatoes and get into this tomato canning project. Again, it's 2025. I think we're doing it, okay? So, our John Henry haul, we have, I mean, this box, let's see, it's half a bushel. Let's see if I can get it up, okay? So again, they get me with these deals. I love easy math, right? Don't give me 7.5 sticks of butter math that my brain converts to cups and I end up with 15 sticks of butter. Don't do that to me. But if you tell me I can buy half a bushel of squash for $9.99, or I can get half a bushel of squash and half a bushel of zucchini for $10, I'm taking the penny deal. So this half a bushel of squash is delicious. What am I gonna do with it? We're eating it, okay? Bacon grease, lard, tallow, you name it. I'm going to put half a bushel of squash in my body. I mean, some other people will probably join in, but me, myself, and I will largely consume this. Also, okay, so here's our half a bushel of zucchini for a penny. This is my math. This is what I live for, okay? And they're beautiful. They're beautiful. Now, the tomatoes. The tomatoes are questionable. You know that I was going for the $4.99. What was it? 50-pound? No, it wasn't $4.99. Hold on. Wrong math. We're gonna get there. I was going for the 50-pound boxes of Roma canning tomatoes that were $29.99. Those, I asked them, those got sold out this morning, okay? So what I gotta do, you know the plan. I'm gonna check their Facebook page every morning, and next time they have canning tomatoes, hopefully this week is gonna be it though, I'm gonna run over there and get another 100, 150 pounds. We got a good base. Now we're not getting 250 pounds out of these tomatoes, but again, you know, I'm hopeful we can get 150 or so. We got enough to get going. Like this box here, you know, we got a lot of beautiful tomatoes, and I have only canned tomato sauce one other time. In 2023, I've been rewatching my original 2023 canning video, and I've been rewatching my video from last year where I tried to can 600 pounds of tomatoes. My life had an implosion in September 2024. You know, as the hits keep coming, and I had a whole fiasco. could not can the tomatoes that I had started in the roasters. I'll link that video down below because I go into great lengths explaining what happened. But all that, again, we've already established it's summer 2025. I don't have hope in all things, but I got some hope. And I definitely, based on my one time, which means I'm pretty much an expert, haha, but based on my one-time tomato canning in 2023, and we got 57 quarts of sauce, and we had homemade, home can, basic, base model level tomato sauce. We used it in less than a year. And I believe by watching my 2023 canning video that I'm currently watching through again, that we can make a very simple go at doing our homemade sauce again in 2025. 57 quarts, I mean, if we got that much, it's still not a year's worth, but that's okay. It's a start. What I would love to see happen, we're gonna get these processed. I would love, please John Henry General Store have a couple more tomato deals this week. We'll get the roaster ovens going, and we're just gonna have a tomato canning week. Now, another problem is while I was cooking a bunch of big batch, full sheet pan size, sheet pan dinners for this week, and I had planned to work on another cooking project where I was doing 4 breakfast sheet pan meals, which each recipe is 2 sheet pans, 8 full sheet pans. Anyway, my big oven decided, this is like a big oven, and this is kind of like a regular size oven. It won't fit full-size sheet pans. So my big oven decided it doesn't want to do this. It doesn't want to do big sheet pan meals. And that oven died on me last night. Thankfully, I had finished my big batch sheet pan dinner preps for the next few days. Okay, you've seen that video now, but I bought breakfast ingredients to make the breakfast sheet pan meals. So once we're done filling with these potatoes, once we're done filling with potatoes, we're not actually filling with potatoes tonight, but yesterday we prepped 22 pounds of roasted potatoes. They're ripping through those like they're 2 pounds of potatoes. We're gonna process those. We're gonna get going doing something with those tomatoes. And then all the breakfast ingredients I bought several boxes of eggs, I bought ham, I bought peppers, I bought hash browns, I bought breakfast stuff, and we were doing these. But instead, in my regular size oven, here in 2 minutes, hopefully, we're just gonna have to use these. We'll be able to do 2 sheet pans at a time in that. And we'll also work on converting and doing as many of those breakfast recipes in big cast iron. We make things work around here. So total, I spent right around $60. I honestly think I left my receipt in my car, but we got 10 tomato boxes at $4.99 a box. And then we spent $10 for a bushel, half a bushel of yellow squash, half a bushel zucchini, and that's my kind of math, so we're happy about that. Now, sadly, while I was gone, and I looked at those cantaloupes and I decided to not buy some. I bought cantaloupes last week. We did not get to prepping those. They got away from us, and some of my folks took the 3 cantaloupes that were there and they already tossed them. So I should have got some cantaloupes. We do have 2 watermelons. I think I'm going to have someone who looks like me process those. Let's go through, we'll look through. Yeah, there's some squishy tomatoes in here and some pretty okay ones. Now, also, life problems. My prep sink, the garbage disposal is out. You're gonna hear about this for a few weeks, but my plumbers are coming actually end of next week. That'll be okay, but it's a bummer because it drains super, super slow, and I'm not a plumber. So, bummer, I'm not a plumber. But I might be. Give me another year, and maybe I will be a plumber. So I can't use my prep sink to wash these tomatoes and get them ready. That's a thing. So we need to do some dish stuff. The dishwashers are working. That's great. Stove's not working, but I will call Z-Line. I will enter into that, but that wasn't part of today's chapter. But hey, we bought 250 pounds of questionable tomatoes, so we're pretty much winning. This is kind of okay, and all right, okay. And so, what do we got here? Pretty okay. Really, I just need to get these over, and we need to wash them and process them that way. And we're pretty much winning because both dishwashers are empty. That is great. If you have followed along, I gave my in-service this morning to my folks to please use the cutting board on the countertops. I did get some disclosures that it's been in reference to making smoothies and getting into those bananas, but the frozen bananas. When you chop, use a cutting board. Thanks. Look, Mom. Okay, so we have some memories made there. And we did have one box of tomatoes that totally, the bottom fell out of it. Kind of like the bottom falling out of life. The bottom fell out of it. And yeah, there were some not great things happening there. Let me put on warm water. So the squishy tomatoes with that already got sent to the tall grass, and the good tomatoes were salvaged from the driveway and put in a bowl. I might break something. Were put in a bowl on the table, and again, like all things, we're doing pretty okay. Top was off of that. That was surprising. Let's try again, but it's working. Okay, pretty good, pretty good. Jumping a little bit, but we handle it. Okay, so just a little jumpy there, but hey, this garbage disposal is working, and I shot water to help wipe down the countertops a couple feet. Pretty good, pretty good. Just the little basic insert stopper that should have been there. I had pulled that out just to clean it, and I turned it on and I forgot. So as always, I'm the problem, it's me, right? Okay, but we're gonna get this dishwasher going. We're gonna get to, I've got a timer set so I can pace myself, but I want to wash tomatoes, see what we have to work with, probably get tomatoes going in the roaster ovens, okay? And then do some breakfast prep. We can do these things. I have not run today. Actually, I didn't run last week because I did my New York City trip, and it was just a busy week with that. And even our days walking to New York City, it was like 6,600 steps. So anyway, just not like how I can really hoof it up and down my driveway. Today I'm at, let's see, I'm at 11,000 steps so far. I had quite a lot of work emails and things to do this morning, so I tried to walk while I did those on my phone. That is helpful. Thank you, always talk to text. And I'm hopeful with my timers to just kind of stop wherever I am about 7:30 or 8 and get a small evening run in, even just for 30 minutes, and start this week right with getting 4 runs in, because I am signed up for a four miler race, we'll say, coming up, and then there's a lot of 5Ks in the fall and half marathons and other fun things. So yes, sick 1 week, okay, and then traveling last week, but must get back at it this week. And I could have, you know, I got people who do the dishwasher, but they're doing other things. So mom can do the dishwasher too. Start, yay. A year with me is pretty good. These are some cheap Lowe's GE dishwashers. I'm pretty sure last summer, August 2024, after going around like, I think it was like 8 to 12 weeks, just back and forth with appliance repair. And finally I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna buy me two other dishwashers. We're gonna move forward in life. I can't do that with this stove because this stove was a pretty penny. I did get like $2,500 off. It was a good, I got it at a savings time, but we gotta get that. I just gotta go through the process. Again, I'm hopeful that by October we have a working stove. That would be super, super nice. And actually, workflow plan with me, what makes sense is if we could get one sheet pan breakfast meal prepped going in the working oven, while that cooks, we can wash tomatoes, okay? I've just got to quickly look at, I was going to do my sheet pan breakfast recipes on the full-size sheet pan, but again, we're making do. Just gotta recalibrate for a minute and it'll all work out. And we're gonna have several days worth of breakfast. The low-carb cheesecake brownies, 3 pans of those have been going phenomenal. Some folks then had a cheesecake brownie after their breakfast today. So that's great. Things are getting eaten. The bacon wrapped chicken, big hit. That was gone in 24 hours. The sweet and tangy chicken that we did on the big sheet pans, that got finished today. They're on to the barbecue chicken that we meal prepped tonight. So I love this meal prepping ahead. We have sausage and cheese omelet, okay. I'm looking, there's also a loaded breakfast pizza recipe on the back. We're not doing that today, but these are the sheet pan meals I bought ingredients for. Hash brown breakfast bake, kind of like birds in the nest. We crack the eggs in the middle. The Denver omelet, which is absolutely delicious. I had one of my guys get into my little package of ham the other day, and I was like, no, you've got 57 other things to eat. I'm making Denver omelets with that. Back up the truck for a minute, right? And then I was gonna do these bacon and egg breakfast sandwiches. I don't think I also have time to do the homemade classic dinner rolls this evening. So in lieu of that, I think we will do bacon and eggs in a basket, birds in a nest, Egyptian eye, whatever you want to call it. We can do those on the half-size sheet pans that we have. And say it with me, the plan is we're gonna get just one recipe at a time into the oven. That'll work. And then while that's in the oven, we will work through washing those tomatoes. I don't want to let those sit there until tomorrow. Whoops, why do I get dings on my refrigerator? It's me, I'm the problem. And that's how things happen. Okay. All right, so I'm already modifying things for the Denver omelet. They use the bowl for my tomatoes that I'd like to use for me. I don't want to use the Mega Mama bowl right now. Hopefully I've got to do some bowl rearranging. Denver omelet sheet pan recipe. I'm doing some things already, just time-wise, chopping up the peppers and the onion. I'm just thinking, no, we got ham, and hey, look, it's prepped. We got shredded cheese, we got eggs. We can put some milk in the eggs. What else? Some butter, some salt and pepper. Yeah, I'm leaving those veggies out. It's just gonna be a ham and cheese omelet. Also, we have another pack of ham that's gonna go in our hash brown breakfast bake. So, I'm sorry, Denver omelet, I love the peppers, but we got a bunch of tomatoes to get working through as well, and that's just it. I just bought those peppers, and they're not judging me yet like that cantaloupe judged me. So those peppers can wait a few days and hopefully get in on some more cooking later this week. I do have Blackstone Day coming up in about 4 or 5 days, which will be super. Once we work through this chicken that we meal prepped this weekend, I will then do a big Blackstone prep, get us through another however many days. I hate to say a week, you know, 5 days, 7 days, it's hard to prep 7 days worth of food in advance for 10 people. So 2, 4, 6, I need about 20 eggs. I'll stretch it and do 24. 7, 8, 9, 10. Do about half a cup of milk. You can, of course, I prefer eyeball it. We'll mix that up and then we'll add in our ham and cheese. Also, finally put that Redmond salt I dump everywhere in a jar. I think I'm gonna do like a teaspoon of onion powder in here. I would do garlic powder too, but I have not refilled that, so we'll do that. Not be using this half tablespoon of salt. Put that in there. Enthusiastically shake pepper. Okay. Woo, maybe. Here we go. I like to say, a handful of cheese is a cup of cheese around the world, haha. So we'll just put some in there, and I'll also sprinkle some on the top. And then the very desirable already cubed ham. I can get it open. We'll get that dumped in. So yeah, we're just doing some sheet pan ham and cheese omelets. And I'm going to put my ham packet under my mixer paddles. That's doing something. Get my oven turned on. Please work, please work. Parchment paper, sheet pans, productive, time, don't even have the time on here. Wish this clock wasn't busted. Okay. 6:40 in the evening. We've had a nice full day, and actually, hey Jamerrill, how do you get your videos filmed? Not all my folks, but my elementary folks are watching a YouTube channel that does a lot of terrarium type videos. And I said, hey, while I film this evening, you can watch your terrarium videos. Win-win. I will get breakfast for several days done. Let's see, this one is my empty one. You will get some terrarium video time. All is well in the world, right? Okay, I'm gonna lay that down. That signifies that is trash. I'll need to scoop out some of the ham in there. Now our next one, and so all I'm going to do with these, we will cut them into squares. Of course, I mean, if anyone wants ham and cheese impromptu omelets tonight, go for it. But whatever's left, we will cut into squares. I will put into a Pyrex container. We will probably end up with some variety of sheet pan eggs here. They can just reheat them, reheat what they want from all this breakfast prep in the mornings to come. I might need to share some eggs from my other pan, or this might be fine. Let's see here. Yes, we need some more eggs, maybe. Okay, me pouring eggs from one pan to another. It'll be a thing. Share some eggs. Our ham and egg equivalent. This isn't going. Will you stay? Yes. Okay. Stick with me. I'm trying to not roll it off the sheet pan, because that's also a thing that I would do. Where's my little turkey baster when I need it? That has long been. Okay, I think I'm going to go for it. I just want to pour a little. Just a little. Will you be okay? Can we do this? Okay. Okay. Okay, I think we didn't have too bad hurt feelings there. I think we're okay. Okay. All right. I think everything worked out okay for us, and that's what we require. Pretty okay. All right, and so these are for $3.50 for about 20-25 minutes. Because I am who I am, I will set my timer for 20. Okay, we have heat from an oven. Pretty great. Okay. Nice. Next. And so I'm not caught, this timer's almost done and then I'll set it for 20. Let's prep our next thing we're gonna do. We'll go pull that together, even if I slide it in the refrigerator. Yes. Okay, so my hash browns, my supposed to be frozen hash browns, might look a little sad because again, I thought I was doing these sheet pan meals and I had time to prep them last night before I had to process the sadness of my oven situation. Anyway, so these hash browns just I threw them in the refrigerator. And here we are. And we have finished another pack of parchment paper. I feel like I have to sneeze, so that's my pausing at this moment. So we are gonna just spritz this parchment paper, get the hash browns down. I will do 1 pack of hash browns per sheet. And then once these sheet pan eggs come out, which really I should switch my pans in like 5 minutes. I've got one 20-minute timer. I want to move my pans halfway because I've seen things. Anyway, we'll just get these hash browns ready on their 2 sheet pans so that once those sheet pan ham and cheese omelet come out, we can get these going. We will bake our hash browns for about 10 minutes and then we will pull them, we will stir them and add ham and cheese. We're gonna season them and things too, so get these ready. And I'm not doing any butter math, so we are marked safe from me doing double butter or ×6 butter. But it's 4 ounces of butter, so it's a stick of butter. I had 3/4 of a stick and 1/4 of another one left. We're just gonna, if I can grab it, melt it. Whole point of that is we're gonna drizzle the butter and the seasoning over our hash browns. I found this parchment paper. There's been a project. There's a lot of arts and crafts that go on in my kitchen. There's a lot of supplies used. We'll never know, okay? We won't. There's things that have been made. There's adventures that have been had, and that's for other people to know and for me to find out, right? As I see other projects around. So, but I just found this loose parchment paper, and that will go in that container. Look at us. So we will get, I say these things out loud because it helps me remember what we're doing. And you hold this to-do list for me, and we do pretty good, right? Pretty okay. So, got it. Thank you for getting excited with me about tomato canning. I have the next 3 days after today slated for, now tomorrow I can give the canning my total like 9 to 5 all day focus. And then the next 2 days after that, I do have family appointments and life and stuff and things, but I have a couple hours here or there pockets. So over the next 3 days, starting tomorrow, we're just gonna can as many tomatoes as we can. That'll be in the next video, and I am proud of us, right? Super, super proud. Okay. That might actually need another 30 seconds. Just pouring it, and it's salt, pepper, and garlic powder. I probably have garlic powder in some other form up here. I do. I have a little bit of garlic powder. This is Sharp Shopper, $4.79. That's all that's left, but that is fine. So we will just sprinkle some seasonings around, pour some butter around. Again, at the 10-minute mark, I'm just throwing some salt on it. We will stir these up, and then we're gonna add eggs. We're gonna add ham and cheese. Then, let me grab my little paper here. Yes, we will. At 10 minutes, we'll pull it, we'll stir our hash browns, we're gonna add our ham and cheese, put them back in the oven for another 10 to 15 minutes until we get some golden brown edge action. Then we're gonna pull them and create our egg wells and do our eggs, put it back in. So there's a little back and forth, but again, my folks will dip from my Pyrex containers throughout the week for breakfast options. I'm so proud of us for doing this. We're doing good. We're doing good this week. I mean, it's Monday, right? You're seeing this on a Saturday, I believe. And who knows what other day in the future. Okay, that's my timer. That's my timer. That's reminding me to flip the pans. But still, it's Monday and I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful. Okay, come on, come on. We can do it. Okay, my fingernail did it that time without bending the wrong way. Okay, little pepper. And then I'm just gonna shake some garlic powder on there. Now, we'll head to the oven. So, these will just sit here and like it while we switch out our sheet pans. Those only have 10 minutes left. And we've already asked a lot of these hash browns. They've been in the refrigerator for 24 hours. I need my little mitts. I can't wait to run tonight. It feels like a good day to run. Whew. Sorry, hit my finger on the hot metal. Doing pretty good here. Sheet pan eggs, doing pretty good. I mean, one side's a little weird, but for the most part, you just gotta be pretty okay, right? They're doing pretty okay. Now our hash browns will just sit here and like it. All right, so my timer just went off. Here's my hats. I always lose these. Anyway, timer just went off, so I'm gonna pull these out. That looks delicious, nice. So, sheet ham and cheese omelets there, and now we're gonna get our hash browns in. I think this might be at 400, I need to go look. But anyway, I'll check that, but 10-minute timer activated. Now we'll carry more tomatoes. Set these here. Hopefully the bottoms don't break off of these. That one was a little drippy. Okay, well, we got 100 pounds there, plus a random bowl that fell out of the car. I think our workflow will be, like, is that my biggest strainer? I guess it is. We'll wash them, get them into 30-quart bowls. Because I need to clear some spaces for my roasters. Got some random rocks on these. The timer set. Was worried I didn't set the timer for the oven, but I did. Box looks pretty okay. I'm fine with a lot of these super ripe ones that are a little squishy. We're gonna put them through the sauce maker. We don't have to core them or anything. We just need to cook them down and then put them through the sauce maker. It was a pretty good box. Like an assembly line, we're moving on down. It's got some questionable ones. Let's see here. Ooh, that one's got quite a lot going on. Okay, we need to have quite a lot going on bowl. I can handle, you know, a little bit going on, that's fine. Quite a lot, I might not be able to work with that. those boxes really aren't savable, like the bottoms of them are wet, so don't worry about that. That one's got leaking already. That there for now. So real quick, we're gonna add, yeah, there's our timer. We're gonna add the ham and cheese to our hash browns. Okay, I had it on 350, temperature's 400. So I'm just gonna stir them, switch the pans out, and then give it 10 more minutes. Didn't really get too far. Getting better. All right, 10 more minutes to start again. This one's pretty questionable. We might lose a couple out of this one. About 3/4 of this box. Okay, yeah, the rest of these gotta go. This is, you can see in there, that's what's there. Really squishy, extra squishy. We got those are squishy. Pretty okay though. Okay, let's just scooch this down the line. I will have some of my strong guys come in here and help me haul these tomatoes around once I get them washed. I can gently dump these. Okay, now this next box is super squishy, so we'll just get what we can from it. All right, so whew, lots happening in here. It's okay though. It's actually looking better than I thought. There's just some really exceptional ones in here. Again, if I had farm animals, they would be happy tonight with this. Okay, so we will bring some more boxes over, and we got 3 minutes left on our hash browns. And here, soon we'll have 4 sheet pans prepped to head for breakfast. I mean, who are we? washing tomatoes, and then all of a sudden I realized, oh, my timer's not going. It must have gone off. So, hasn't been that long though. We are gonna sprinkle basically 8 ounces of ham over each sheet pan and a cup-ish of cheese. Move these sheet pan eggs down. Sorry, I'm trying to focus in on the time. Okay, so we'll get these going. So I was looking around for my spoon that I had used to stir the hash browns earlier. I know that parchment paper is in the way of your view. Just kind of spreading them out some. Stirring them up. And now, willy-nilly, cubed ham drop. Kind of doing probably 2 cups of cheese on each sheet pan now. So I'm doing 2 handfuls. So now we are getting these next 2 big batch sheet pan breakfast in the oven. And these were super, super popular. My folks, even my gluten-free folks, were like, "You mean hash browns don't have gluten in them?" And I'm like, "Sweetie, it's shredded potatoes. It's shredded potatoes, and you can have some of these hash browns." It all works out well in the end. So that was a super popular breakfast. And I mean, we can say it's breakfast prep, but really it was all kinds of variety of meals over about the next 45 hours. It was just gone fast, quick, and in a hurry. And so I'm just going through the task now of continuing to wash down these tomatoes. I'm checking them. I don't mind if there's some bruising or some spotting, but if there's heavy mushy factors, you know a bad tomato if you see a bad tomato. So I'm continuing to set any tomatoes that I think are just not salvageable, and we are going to toss those. Like I say, no more farm animals to feed them to, but we feed nature, right? And so I'm going to go through this box now and get those rinsed, and I'm just stacking them in the 30-quart bowls for the moment. A better workflow would probably be to just go ahead and directly stack them into the roaster ovens, but it was getting later in the evening at this point, and I was not going to start the massive over 4 bushel tomato canning project until the following morning. So I will definitely share that journey with you as well. We are prepping these and getting them ready though. Now what's nice is I do have my Ball Fresh Tech sauce maker, and that is phenomenal. Now I can do the tomatoes fresh, but it would require me to core them down. It would require me to chop them down and put them into the sauce maker that way. And the sauce maker takes the skin off, de-seeds them, cores them, all of those amazing things. But if I go ahead and cook my tomatoes, then they are soft enough to where I don't have to chop them down. And that is what my plan is on how we're going to process these over 4 bushels of tomatoes for 2025. And now I'm pulling the sheet pan breakfast out. And now I'm going to just do a little hole every couple inches across both of the sheet pans. And then we're going to crack our eggs in each of those holes. So it'll be like another version of birds in the nest, only instead of a slice of bread, we have the egg on this nice little nest of hash browns and melted cheese and ham. So delicious, and just everybody forgot we have ever had these ever. So We now have fans of these, and if my big oven was working, I would have done 2 full-size sheet pans of this breakfast recipe. I will link it for you down in the description below. It's super simple, and again, a super favorite. And then with our sheet pan omelets that we did beside these breakfasts that are already sitting out on the stove cooling, those are really nice. You can almost use them like a wrap. Whenever I would eat them, I would think, man, if I could have wrapped a piece of sausage in here and just used it like a really thick egg and ham and cheese, like omelet breakfast bread almost. They were very delicious. Even this morning from the future, when I ran out to take some of my elementary guys to the Children's Museum while we were out and about, they had several squares of those sheet pan omelets on the way, and we ate them in the car, and I ate a couple while I drove, and hey, we meal prepped for those for this morning's breakfast a few days before, and it all works out great. So I believe in my recipe that I'll link for you below, I say about 6 eggs per sheet pan. I believe I squirrel in about 7 or 8 because, you know, I'm always gonna get as many in as I can. And so I'm just gonna continue to crack those eggs, but we are almost done. Alrighty, pretty good, pretty good. I don't think I can choose. I can get in a run, or I can get to bed at a good time and get up early and try again tomorrow. So that is what we're doing. But hey, we will have made here in a minute 4 sheet pan breakfasts for meal prep, and we will have, we've got 30 quart bowls, 2 30-quart bowls overflowing with tomatoes. We're about to have 3, and we are going to get these tomatoes going in the roaster ovens. And then tomorrow I'm gonna continue on with the sauce process, and we will hopefully by tomorrow afternoon actually be canning tomato sauce. I love that for us. That is super great. Okay, so we need to running out of my counter space for a minute. Oh, this one is super juicy. It's an extra juicy box. Let's see what adventures we have. We have a lot happening here. Okay. Well, some for our not gonna make a cut bowl, some for our washing bowl, and we have hope. The lids to put under these extra juicy boxes, and then I have my guys take these out and break them down. It's like the job you don't want from your mom, but sometimes it's the job you get, right? Okay, looks like we got about 50 pounds left. I'm going to sprinkle these with a little more cheese, I think, because, you know, cheese. Smells delicious. I think I'm gonna have people that want some of this now, which is great. Hey, look, I meal prepped. Cheese, gotta find the cheese. Okay, we'll see what we get here. It looks pretty hopeful. I don't feel like we've lost that much. Maybe 20 pounds? Pretty good. I mean, not a full 25-pound box. Last box, almost there. Thus four from that box. It's really good. Again, much better than I thought. You know, I was thinking we'd have 150 pounds to work with, and that was pretty okay. And I'm thinking now it's actually pretty great here. Okay, I like it. So I didn't get 4 sheet pan recipes done for breakfast, but I got 2 sheet pan recipes done for breakfast on 4 sheet pans. So again, pretty okay for this evening. And we have processed through 250 pounds of tomatoes. Also, pretty great. We like it. We like when pretty okay gets upgraded to pretty great. I like that a lot. And so with these sheet pan breakfast, once the next batch cools again, I will, whoever wants some of these tonight can, I will take these 4 sheet pan breakfast and put them in Pyrex containers in the lid, and those will be breakfast for the coming days. Well, friends, thank you for shopping for bulk produce deals at the John Henry General Store. Thank you for helping me haul that home. And then we did some dishes. Look at us. We made these 4 sheet pans full of breakfast for the next few days at least, and we washed and picked through the 250 pounds of tomatoes. I guess I'll call it 225, but again, I don't think we lost a whole box, so that's really great. Thank you so much for being here with me this evening, and I'll see you real soon with another brand new video where we're gonna boss these tomatoes around this year.